Hello everyone. In this session we will discuss the next cell organelle, that is lysosomes. So we all know lysosomes are animal cells digestive organelle. Okay. So they help in digesting the unwanted proteins and other things inside the cell. So for this activity they are having hydrolytic enzymes. So at least 50 different hydrolytic enzymes are said to be they're in the lysosome, and they are made in the rough ER, that is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and then they are targeted to these organelles. So lysosomal enzymes, they can hydrolyze almost all the biological macromolecules, and they also have a very important property, that is their optimal activity or optimum pH is at acid pH or acidic pH, and that is why they are called as acid hydrolases. So also this lysosomal compartment, inside the lysosomal compartment the pH is also very low, so that will suit very well for this enzymes. Okay, inside the lysosomal compartment the pH is around 4.6. So for maintaining this 4.6 or this low pH, there is a high internal proton concentration needed, and it is maintained by the proton pump in the organelle's boundary membrane. Also, this lysosomal membranes are having very variety of highly glycosylated integral proteins. So these integral proteins, they are carbohydrate chain that will actually form a protective lining for the membrane. Okay, and it will help in preventing the attack from the enclosed enzymes. So the shape, size and the internal structure of these lysosomes, they can vary from cell to cell, and even within the cell they can vary. Their size ranges from 0.1 to 0.2 nanometer. Normally 4 types of lysosomes have been recognized. So the first one is primary lysosomes, and they are newly formed, and they contain newly synthesized enzymes. Okay, and these enzymes will not have participated in any cellular activity. They are very new. The next one is secondary lysosomes, and they are involved in the digestion of exogenous materials or even their own intracellular substances. They are also known as phagolysosomes. The third one is autolysosomes, and they are also called as autophagic vacuoles, and they arise by fusion of primary lysosomes. When primary lysosomes fuse, they form autolysosomes. The aged variety of lysosomes is called telolysosomes, and when these lysosomes, when they degenerate, the leftover vesicles are known as residual body or post lysosomes. So these are the different types of lysosomes. Primary lysosome is the newly formed lysosome, and they contain new enzymes. Secondary lysosomes are lysosomes that digest exogenous material or even their own intercellular substances. They are also called as phagolysosomes. The third one is autolysosomes, and they are called as autophagic vacuoles, and they arise by fusion of two primary lysosome. And telolysosome is the aged variety of lysosome. Okay, and when this lysosomes degenerate, they are known as residual body or post lysosome. So this is the lysosome, structure of lysosome inside the cell. Okay, now we will discuss the functions of lysosome. So the major function of lysosome is the digestion of materials taken up from the outside of cell by endocytosis. This role of lysosome, they are not only their function, but also they are a reason for the formation of lysosome. So lysosomes are formed when transport vesicles from the trans-Golgi network, that is the TGN, fuse with the late endosome, and this endosome contains molecule taken up by endocytosis at the plasma membrane. So that is how lysosome is formed. So vesicles containing the acid hydrolysis, that is the enzymes from the TGN, they fuse with late endosome. What is endosome? Endosome is the material that is taken up by the plasma into the cell by the plasma membrane by endocytosis. So that is how lysosome is formed. So these endosomes, they are present both in the secretory pathway and the endocytic pathway. In the secretory pathway means they will once they fuse with this vesicles from the TGN, they process this lysosomal enzymes or these proteins. So that is how they are involved in the secretory pathway. And in the endocytic pathway means these endosomes are formed by plasma membrane invaginations. So during that process they will take up extracellular molecules that are taken up on the cell surface. So it is an intersection between both these pathways. So at the plasma membrane, vesicles are formed by endocytosis and they form into early endosomes, and they separate. So some actually go back and they recycle back to the plasma membrane, and some are destined to be degraded in the lysosome. So they will segregate into two types, and some are targeted back to the plasma membrane, and some are destined to fuse with the lysosomes or the vesicles from the TGN. So in the early endosome there will be molecules that are taken up by the by the cell, okay, that will be present in the early endosome. So if there are molecules to be recycled back, that is some cell surface receptors have come in by mistake or some other things that need to be sent back, so they are recycled back into the plasma membrane. But if there are other things that are to be degraded and the cell want to degrade that things, then they are transported to late endosomes. So from early endosomes, late endosomes are made and they develop into lysosome once they receive the lysosomal enzymes from the Golgi network. So the things to be degraded in the endosomes, they are made to fuse with the vesicles from the TGN. These vesicles are containing the enzymes, the degradative enzymes, okay, and then they fuse to form lysosomes, and inside these lysosomes these things to be degraded are degraded. So this is the figure depicting the whole process, that is endocytosis and lysosome formation. Both are interconnected and both are the function of lysosomes only. So here you can see plasma membrane, invagination and extracellular materials. So this is the endocytic vesicle, and then they develop into early endosome. Some are to be recycled back, so they are recycled back by the recycling endosome back to the plasma membrane. But some are to be degraded, and what happens from the trans-Golgi network? From the trans-Golgi network, the lysosomal enzymes are made and they bud off like vesicles, and these fuse with the late endosome and they form the lysosome. And inside the lysosome, the unwanted materials are degraded. The next function is autophagy. So lysosome, they not only degrade the molecules or substances that are taken up by endocytosis, but also they degrade the cellular components, that is the cytoplasmic organelles or cytosolic proteins, etc. They also, or some misfolded proteins, they also degrade their own components, the cell's own components. So due to this autophagy, we can degrade the aged components of the cell. So in the first step of autophagy, what happens is that whichever cytoplasmic organelle or whichever area of cytoplasm we want to degrade, that area is enclosed by a membrane derived from the endoplasmic reticulum. For example, we are going to degrade mitochondria. So this mitochondria is enclosed by a membrane made from endoplasmic reticulum. So that enclosed vesicle, that enclosed membrane or the organelle is called an autophagosome. Okay, and this autophagosome will fuse with the lysosome and they form autophagolysosome. And inside this, the contents will be digested by the acid hydrolysis. So not only cell organelles, some proteins also form this autophagosome. Okay, and they result in the slow degradation of cytoplasmic proteins. So approximately 1% of cell proteins per hour is degraded by this autophagy mechanism. So if there is an organelle that is damaged, like for example mitochondria, they are selectively targeted for the autophagic degradation. That is, they will be marked by ubiquitination. That is, they will be marked by a protein. So that protein will be the signal for this lysosome. So in that way, autophagy helps in the continuous turnover of cellular constituent, and also they are regulated during development and in response to stress. So in the case of development, the example is the developmental processes in the insect metamorphosis. Okay, so in insect metamorphosis, they involve extensive tissue remodeling and degradation of cellular components. All these are done by the lysosomes. Also, another function of autophagy is that they are activated when cells are deprived of nutrients or cells are under nutrient starvation. So what happens is that when the cell undergo a nutrient starvation, the autophagy is activated and they will allow cells to degrade non-essential macromolecules, and from this non-essential macromolecules, their components will be reutilized as nutrients by the cells. And also autophagy, they also play an important role in apoptosis or programmed cell death. In recent studies, autophagy has also been shown to help protect an organism against intracellular threats ranging from abnormal protein aggregates to invading bacteria. So if any bacteria has invaded the cell, or if there is an abnormal folded protein or a misfolded protein in the cell, all these can be degraded by autophagy. So autophagy also protect brain cells from continuous damage to proteins and organelles that is experienced by long-lived cell, because in the case of brain cells, they are long-lived cell. They do not undergo cell death. So in that cases and all, they protect this autophagy. By this autophagy, they protect continuous damage to proteins and their organelles, cellular organelles. So they are also very important in protecting the brain cells. So once this autophagolysosome, inside that these organelles or whatever misfolded protein or the organelle or whatever is enclosed, they will be digested. And once the digestion is completed, the organelle is termed as the residual body. So sometimes, depending upon the type of cell and the contents of the residual body, sometimes they will be eliminated from the cell by exocytosis, or they may be retained in the cytoplasm as lipofuscin granule. So you can see this lipofuscin granules, they increase in number as an individual becomes older. So accumulation is particularly evident in the neurons. Neurons are long-lived cells, so in that and all you can see so many lipofuscin granules. So these lipofuscin granules, they are considered as a major characteristics of the aging process. Here you can see the figure of autophagy. In this case, mitochondria is digested. So first the ER, from the ER a membrane will enclose and form autophagosome, and then they fuse with the lysosome and they form autophagolysosome, and after that they digest whatever their function is there, they will digest. Then residual body is formed. Sometimes it is thrown out of cell through exocytosis, or sometimes they remain as lipofuscin granules. So this is autophagy. Now we will discuss some diseases that are related to lysosomes. So we all know that lysosomes contain about 60 different degradative enzymes that can hydrolyze proteins, DNA, RNA, polysaccharides, and all the biological macromolecules. So mutation in the genes that encode these enzymes, they will lead to 30 different diseases in humans. These are genetic diseases, and they are called as lysosomal storage diseases because there will be undegraded material that accumulate within this lysosome because they are not having the correct enzyme to degrade them. So they will go into what accumulating the lysosomes inside the cell. So this is called as lysosomal storage diseases. It is happening due to the mutations in the genes that encode these enzymes. So an example for such a disease is the Gaucher disease. In this, there is a mutation for a gene that encodes a lysosomal enzyme required for the breakdown of glycolipids in the case of Gaucher disease. Another disease is the ICEL disease, and this is caused by the deficiency in the enzyme that catalyzes the first step in tagging of lysosomal enzymes with mannose 6-phosphate. We know that we saw in protein targeting and also in the Golgi complex, in the functions of the Golgi complex, we saw the lysosomal enzymes, they will be tagged with mannose 6-phosphate residues. So if there is deficiency in the enzyme that catalyzes this reaction, then they will not reach their targeted destination. Okay, so they will not be incorporated into the lysosomes. So if they are not incorporated into the lysosome, they cannot do their function. So that is happening in the case of ICEL disease. So that is all about lysosomes. So lysosomes, they are the cells, degradative, digestive organelles, and they are having a very low pH inside their membrane, and they are having acidic enzymes or acid hydrolases, and they help in degrading almost all biological macromolecules. And we discussed their function, mainly endocytosis and autophagy. Autophagy is also related to many other important roles. And lysosomes, they are associated with diseases. They are called as lysosomal storage disease. The example is Gaucher disease and ICEL disease. So that is about lysosomes. Thank you.